Welcome to the Problem Corner for Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and by extension D&D as well. My name is Model42 and today I want to talk about why you should strive to build a well-balanced party of heroes, and what that means. Let us look at the example of a new level 1 party. We have a tiefling cleric, a human fighter, a human wizard and an elven rogue who is going for ranged combat. First up, the boring look in your minds of such a party does not come to fruition since they look great together, but also what can they do? The cleric is the healer and will also be the moral support and a decent talker. The fighter is well armored to be the tank of the group, but also can dish out a lot of damage since he uses a bastard sword, switching to a shield if needed. He is not the most skilled outside of combat, but he has some skills that are physical and social. The wizard of the group is meant for damage and wants to throw spells that go boom with some support spells thrown in, that he liked, but also has a high intelligence and a lot of skills for recall knowledge, being wise and smart above all. The rogue of the group is less a thief and more of a ranger type, but will be skilled for ranged combat as time goes on, with a lot of useful skills in and outside of combat, and even knows her way around traps, deceit and hiding. It is, in its essence, a very well-balanced group. In addition, all of them are of neutral to good alignment, with some being more lawful than others, and they all like to work together, with no one hiding in the shadows and being gloomy. Why is this important, you might wonder? There are tons of classes to use, and many can be used for different roles, and that is correct. It is the composition of the group that is important. The wizard could have been a witch, the fighter a barbarian, the cleric a druid and the rogue a bard. It would work the same, because they fill their roles and teamwork. But if you, for example, took out the cleric and fill it with a witch, since she might heal as well, you will face problems, since she is weaker in healing than a cleric. Also, now you have two intelligence-based classes in the group, with wisdom missing. Also, not all witches are sympathetic creatures that can talk to most people, like a cleric, and the others cannot fill that void entirely, with maybe the rogue now doing double duty. This is the reason why building a well-balanced group is tough, since not only do you have to try to fill up the major roles, their characters need to be written active and sympathetic, as well as fill out most skills, since even one missing can spell doom for the party. I have seen it happen multiple times. Let's look at some consequences if the group is not well balanced, and they are based upon my experiences, but also logic as well. If the four major roles, tanking, damage dealing, healing and supporting, are not filled properly, you run the risk of not being able to deal with certain enemy combinations, for example a horde undead with a mage at their side. If your characters are not sympathetic and active among each other, they cannot work together properly without metagaming, destroying the whole atmosphere and authenticity of a game and, in my case, win the game and my fun. If you only have a limited set of skills among the group, you will stumble upon problems in puzzle solving and usually end up missing out on a lot of options that could have made things easier. For example, learning that a red dragon is weak against cold damage via arcane recall knowledge, using diplomacy to talk the warlord out of an invasion and find a peaceful solution or enable a backstab, using nature to learn about a plant trap and how to easily snuff it out, without the party succumbing to disgusting conditions like confused or poisoned. The drawback that some of you might fear now is that your creativity is hampered, and you cannot play what you desire. You couldn't be further from the truth, but you need to have some limitations in a game. Aside from the problems listed some seconds ago, role-playing is a team effort, so being an individual that really wants to do one thing, despite it not fitting the more established and safer path, can endanger the potential for success and fun. If your party is smart, and you think you can get by without a healer, you can, though the party needs to be more careful, buy a lot more healing potions than others, and then it might work. However, there will be a time when you miss that divine spellcaster. You can play around everything, but then you need to talk and plan this with your fellow party members and maybe even the DM, because otherwise, the chances of ending badly are pretty high. However, your creativity is not hampered by limitations. It is only hampered by your limited or unlimited imagination. When it comes to you as a DM, learn from my mistakes and be not afraid to give some restrictions to your party. Have newer players or inexperienced players choose simpler classes, maybe even only use the core rulebook for the first campaign. Do not let them choose exotic races unless they know how to portray and play them. Let them fill out these 4 simple roles to play with classic classes and maybe even make a tutorial game campaign before starting a real one, so they can learn tactics and learn about the world in general. To summarize, a well-balanced party has a higher chance of surviving dangers and campaigns for a long time, though they are not invincible and need players to be experienced and tactical as well. But the core of a well-balanced party has the following things at its center. They fill out the 4 major roles as good as they can, they have a wide array of skills and they fit in the setting and are likable and active people. But what about your experiences? Do you have examples of a chaotic group surviving longer than expected, or have you seen a classic group's team roll through your game because of their composition? Tell me in the comments. Thank you so much for staying with me till the end, and if you found this video interesting, please leave a like and subscribe for more content and guides. Until then, stay safe my friends, and we will see each other somewhere on the roads of Galarian.